Okay, let's talk about the annotated bibliography and research. So if you will study very closely pages 357 through 360 in a writer's reference, you will see specific instructions and a sample of an annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography is used to show how you can or cannot use an article in a research paper, okay, an article or a video or any other kind of source. It has very specific information included and a specific lineup, okay, so we're talking type of source, summary, analysis in that order. Don't mix them up, and you start it with the citation, and it's you guys are just doing one entry, so you may hear that an annotated bibliography has several different sources showing. You guys are just doing one entry. So there is some specific information linked here, but let me show you what a sample looks like. This comes from our old Comp 1 reader. It is an article written by Charles Cosin. And you're going to see here. So this is the MLA citation. It is a hanging indent. Remember that you can do hanging indent by clicking paragraph and selecting hanging point 5. Okay, so this is your MLA 8 citation with the author's name, the title of the article, the source from which it came, the editors of that source, the publisher, the year, and the page numbers that this particular article appear on. Okay, in this short essay written for Christianity Today, there you go. There's your type of source. This is important that this part of Christianity Today is in there because that helps the reader understand what kind of essay this is and what kind of bias might be there. Because you have the author's full name here right above, you don't have to use the full name, but you can if you want. But last name only. Don't ever use first name only. It's just not academic. You're going to use last name only. So, Cosin argues against marriage between two members of the same sex. He asserts that by making legal such relationships, blah, 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 blah. All through here, this is summary. It is objective. There is no opinion thrown in here. This is just the writer, Jane Sample, retelling in her own words what the article is about, what it says. I'm going to ask you to please use quotations sparingly, only when you cannot paraphrase them well enough. And if your source has page numbers, go ahead and include the page number whenever you do specific information that is quoted. All of this is about this one article, so it's not necessary to try to put other citations in. But on annotated bibliographies, if you have a direct quote, go ahead and drop in the page number if you can. So the bulk of your paragraph is going to be summary, and then you will have a little bit of analysis at the end. Cosin uses fear to try and persuade his readers to see his side. However, his provided evidence does not adequately support his claims. This source can be used as part of the counterclaim for the paper on legalizing gay marriage because Cosin's argument is not convincing. So this is very much like what you did with the article analysis. However, the difference is that it's very scripted. You have three key components here. You have type of source, you have summary of source, and you have analysis. And as your instructions show you, you should have about 150 to 200 words. Please don't take this over 250 words. So that's part of the challenge, is getting your article summarized and analyzed in such a short space. All right, so make sure you are paying close attention to the instructions. So let's talk about research momentarily. So there's one whole video on research here. This is an older video, and so the students were writing an argument paper. So let's just talk about it when it comes to hours. First of all, you may, after this assignment, when it comes to your term paper, you may use some of those sources that I provide you from Stanford University. But for this assignment, I want you to do your own research. This is considered a research assignment. At the first of this semester, I told you that our lessons were going to be broken into 4 units. We started with writing, then we went to critical reading, and you just finished critical reading. Now we're in research. And from research, we're going to the term paper. So, research. One of the tools, and the number one tool that you can use, is to use our library book search. Now, I am on campus, so whenever I click any of these databases, it's going to take me directly to them. If I'm off campus, it is going to ask me for my Ozarka login, literally what I use to log into my Ozarka. So it should work for you. I've had some other classes that have complained a little bit about using this, and IT keeps saying they're doing it wrong. So make sure that you just use your MyOzarka login username, which for you guys I believe is first and middle initial and last name, and then the same password. So ProQuest is my favorite because you can get full texts that are peer reviewed. You can get just about any that are available out there. So it's always, even if I went to Google and found one, a lot of times I can find it in ProQuest and pull the actual article. So if what I have already mentioned in announcement and in the other video is this, I think that you should already be thinking about some things that go along with resilience. So if I wanted to look at just resilience, I might do that. And as you can see, whenever you type in resilience, ProQuest is going to give you a whole bunch of different possibilities. But I am curious as to how people learn about resilience and what the effect mentors have on them. And so I'm going to look at resilience and mentor and see what that gets me. It came up with 3,903 results, all full articles, okay? And then I can look through here. Mentors enhance resilience in at-risk children and adolescents. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. When I click on that, I can do a quick skimming over here and see if this is what I'm looking for. Kind of scroll down. It's not too lengthy. I mean, if I can scroll down that quickly, the article is not too long. And so maybe this one will work in my whole investigation of how mentoring affects resilience. I can download this PDF and save it to my Jump Drive or H Drive. And then the great thing is that I can cite it, because obviously that's part of what you're going to have to do. So I've got to find MLA 8th, and it changes it for me and it gives me the citation. So this is your citation, and then you would do the annotation below that. Copy and paste it to a Word doc. You can try the same stuff on just Google. And it comes up with some different websites and also these scholarly articles for resilience and mentor. A lot of times whatever you can find here, you could also find in ProQuest. So if you have trouble like accessing any of these, then you could do ProQuest. I'm going to hit backspace just so I can see the rest of these. Personal resilience mentoring sessions, a resilience model for school-based mentoring programs. I mean, all of these would be relevant to what I'm looking into. Okay, the Rochester Resilience Project, that would be worth looking into, because we are focused on the Stanford Resilience Project, but maybe Rochester has something else to offer. So look around and see what you can find, and already be thinking about what you want to focus on in your paper. The goal is to have a personal definition of resilience, but what about it? What have you noticed in the research that keeps coming up for you? And then that's how you will craft your final paper. Again, for this assignment, you're looking just for one source only, and follow the instructions and look at the sample. If you pull any information off of mainstream media, I want you to refer to the media bias chart and honor that chart. We want to stick with sources that appear in the middle and center, just to make sure that they are credible. Okay, so Section R deals with finding credible sources, and make sure that you study that carefully. Okay, I hope this helps you understand where we're headed. So we're doing this first research first, then you will continue researching on your own, and you will start composing your paper, and then we'll get into the interviews and we'll work on that. Yeah, we're going to go forward and build this one little step at a time. So this week we're just in research. I feel like I had something else to point out, but I have lost that. Okay, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and don't forget that we have, where is the help me? I think I've lost the help me. Oh, I don't see it. I need to make a help me discussion thread so that you guys can ask general questions. Okay, so, oops, let's just go ahead and, all right. So, if you have any questions that come up, you can like find help me here and ask them there. And that way we can all share the answers together. Oh yeah, one more thing. I will be making a model paper and project for you to follow. It's just going to take me a little bit. For right now, you're okay because you're still just working on research, and then we're going to start discussing like the interview and stuff like that. You've got a little bit before you're actually submitting your first draft of writing. So I'm going to be getting a paper out to you hopefully by the end of next week, a model paper, model project, so that you can see where we're headed with this thing. Okay, I hope all of this helps. I'll talk to you later.